Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to talk about ray tracing on the 7900 XT. We're looking at Cyberpunk 2077 right now, and I watched a video, or I watched one of those Digital Foundry clips today. They were talking about the rumor that AMD might not have a high-end card coming out next generation, and it got me thinking. After hearing Alex, talking about like ray tracing and stuff, and like Nvidia being like so far ahead and all of that stuff, and it got me thinking. Like I've played a lot of these ray tracing games since I've gotten this card. I've checked out a lot of these. And I keep coming back to like the same thing, like Cyberpunk 2077 obviously being the heaviest one out of all of them to play, and find a good balance with this card. Right now the resolution is set at 1800p. I have it. I have XeSS turned on in the performance mode. I just got done. I've been swapping back and forth, between XeSS and FSR 2.0 to kind of gauge like image quality and look at that and see if it's something that if it really warrants being able to or at least trying to find like a playable experience, like a perfect medium or whatnot. And the way I'm looking at this situation when it comes to ray tracing and being able to get a good point, because for somebody like Alex Battaglia, who bangs on and on and on about ray tracing and path tracing and all of that, you would think that guy would want people to have a good experience. Now I guarantee that you are going to have a better experience with ray tracing and everything with a 7900 XT or 7900 XTX than you're going to get with most of those other cards that are cut down Nvidia cards. You're going to be at a point where you might be able to use it, but I mean, like, the sacrifices you're going to have to make to get there, it's just not going to make sense to me. In my mind, it doesn't make sense for them to continue to bang on about Nvidia being the best and not even try to find a way to show people AMD's offerings when it comes to ray tracing. If ray tracing is such an important medium for the gaming community to push forward, then I think that it should be treated equally on all GPUs. Yes, Nvidia does have a major advantage, especially when it comes to this game. This game right here with the path tracing, it literally drives my card all the way down into the sub 30 FPS category with that enabled. And even using like upscalers and stuff, I can get it up to over 30 frames a second, 1440p over 30 frames a second, which is easily playable. Like, you could easily play this game at 30 frames a second if you had to. If you really had to see like all of that, you could definitely play Cyberpunk 2077 at 30 frames a second. I did it on Xbox One X when it first came out, or Xbox Series X when it first came out. I played the whole game at 30 frames per second. So I know that it's possible. Is it ideal? No, probably not. Whoa, look at these guys over here. Probably not, but at the same time, if you want to be able to play this experience and have all of that, and you just don't have a budget for an Nvidia graphics card, because let's be realistic here. Yeah, you could go out and get a 3060 Ti or 3070 or 3080 or something like that, and you can have a pretty decent 1440p experience with this card. Or you could get I don't know, man. Like, this ray tracing thing has got a lot of people in constant FOMO mode, you know, trying to figure out what they need just so that they can push this technology. And it seems like with every single game that comes out, it gets more demanding and more demanding, that you don't really know where you stand anymore. I am perfectly happy with the ray tracing performance that I am getting out of this 7900 XT. I'm very happy with the overall image quality that I get. I'm truly grateful that I can use XeSS. I do like XeSS. I think it is absolutely incredible on certain games. The implementation for FSR on here, if you're using quality or balance, looks very good. And the performance gains that you do get looks pretty nice. You actually do get higher performance with FSR 2.0 or quality than you do with XeSS. This is at its bottom. You know what I mean? This is a XeSS performance. But the reason why I wanted to use this is because I wanted to show you that the overall image quality of this game, you can set this up and get a perfectly playable experience that's going to look good. I mean, 55 frames a second really feels like 60 frames a second when you have, you know, FreeSync and everything enabled. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. You go down, I mean, as long as you don't go under 40, you can usually be all right with that type of a frame rate. But, you know, looking at like these arbitrary numbers and stuff that but I've never played a game, honestly, guys, that I haven't been able to enjoy, even with frame rates dropping to as low as 20 frames a second in Assassin's Creed games back in the day. Yeah, we don't want to go down there and fight with those guys. We let them do whatever they're doing. But I've never not been able to enjoy a game that I wanted to play, regardless of the overall the frame rate. So it's one of those things where you can easily be able to get a playable frame rate on this game just by setting it up. I'm not saying that you should run out and buy AMD over NVIDIA for ray tracing. Like, I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that, gosh, man, there's a lot of crime in this city. Where's the police officers? You got guys fighting right here. You got people down there trying to rob something. Just go back the freaking way we came, man. That was actually a pretty nice walk anyways. Cyberpunk is a beautiful game. And I'm not saying that you should go out, like I said, I'm not saying that you should go out and buy an AMD graphics card just so you can get, you know, ray tracing or whatever, but I am saying that their ray tracing on the RDNA 3 is definitely a lot better than people make it out to sound. It really does still look incredible. You can still play this game. Like, if I drop this down to 1440p on this 1440p monitor, let me just show you. If we go to graphics, or is it video? Yeah, it's video. And if we take this down to 1400 or 1440p, and we get back out there, you don't really notice that much of like it's not a visual downgrade whatsoever. So, I mean, as long as you're playing at 1440p, like, it still looks absolutely incredible. And you get higher than, you know, 60 frames a second for the most part. And it holds that 60 frames. So, I mean, it's not like it's an unplayable experience. Like, you can play this. But I was just trying to show you that, yeah, you can even push your resolution a little bit higher if you wanted to play this on 4K. And without ray tracing, the game still looks good. It still looks really, really good, but you're going to be, you know, you're going to have a lot higher frame rate if you turn off ray tracing. Like, it's morning time on the game, and this is like one of the other ways that this game just looks absolutely beautiful. You get out here and you start looking around at things, and you start playing, and you start just taking in the whole city. I will tell you that like the story stuff on here is a lot more interesting than like walking around and gawking at the city. But at the same time, it it is one of those things where like preference is definitely going to matter, and it's definitely, you know, something that you need to figure out in terms of graphics cards, because at the end of the day, this stuff is I feel like these things are only going to get more expensive as time goes on. As long as there's no cars running across the street, but these graphics cards are getting expensive, and the overall quality of visuals and stuff that you would want. So I mean, you still get your ray tracing with this, 60 frames, very nice looking on a 1440p monitor, very beautiful, nice and smooth. No issues. Like, you can get a no compromise experience with the 7900 XT. So I do kind of just feel like that whole like Nvidia's better thing is just kind of nonsense, because this really does look very, very nice. It's a very nice experience that you can 100% enjoy. So alright, my friends, I'll stop banging on about this. I just want you guys to know the truth, that like AMD does offer a solid ray tracing experience. Like, you do get a solid ray tracing experience. It looks great. Path tracing, that's a whole nother thing. Do you really want to spend X amount of money to play that? Because I mean, all them other games, you know, I mean, I'll retest this game when frame gen comes out for AMD graphics cards. We'll retest this game, and we'll see if that will help. We'll see if that will help with the whole 4K path tracing thing. You know, like, we'll see, and yeah, we'll come back and revisit this. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.